Hello, my name is Elizabeth. In this video, I will show you how to turn old clothes and fabric scraps into a magical Christmas blanket. I have some scraps of padding polyester, narrow strips of padding polyester. I also have a bag with a 3-layer linen fabric, and this is a bag with my children's clothes. I want to give these things a second life. I will sew the using fabric scraps from other sewing project for this project. Here are the material that will get a second life. Let's get started. Let's choose the first thing. These pants are perfect. I cut off the excess and cut the leg near the seam. I iron out the creases. The next shirt. I steam only the area that will be used at the moment. A velour jacket, we only need the sleeve. You always need to add denim to patchwork. A white skirt would be perfect for this project. It is also good to use corduroy for patchwork. What's in the hoop? Tulle, padding polyester on top, and the tear-away stabilizer. The stabilizer is knit so that the machine foot does not get tangled in the padding polyester fibers. I make the location of the first patchwork element. At this point, I remove the stabilizer. I sew on the corduroy. I cut off the excess. The second element. My son's jeans will be immortalized here. The next element. The fourth element is a narrow strip. I will make it from the hem of the skirt. Next, I add the pink pants. The last element is a narrow strip of velour material. A blanket is ready. Now we need to add thematic designs. Christmas trees and Santa Clauses are the most important things today. Christmas stars. The center of the large block is ready. I remove it from the hoop. I turn off the excess stabilizer. Now I will add to this block, but I will embroider the simple design. This children t-shirt is perfect for embroidery. I steam it. I will use the back of the t-shirt. Since it does not have food or paint stains, I cut along the side seams. I tucked the tool into the hook. On top are the scraps of padded polyester and the back of the t-shirt. I secure all the layers and I begin to embroider the Christmas design. While the embroidery machine is working, I have to finish sewing the first block. I collect the materials. I need narrow, even strips. Therefore, I cut out as evenly as possible. I moisten the strips of fabric and steam them. Our first blank, I cut off the excess. I sew on the first strip of fabric. I sew on a second strip of fabric. The third, the fourth, I sew on 4 more strips in the same way. The embroidery is embroidered well. I have made a decorative stitch. I have a template. I pin the template to the patchwork block. I add 2 pieces of padded polyester to this piece. I need a contrasting shuttle thread. I stitch along the perimeter of the template with this contrasting thread. I take a 3-layer lining material. I cut off the lining for this block. I pin the pieces together. I sew the pieces together from contrasting thread. Important, don't forget to leave an opening for turning. I cut off the excess seam allowances. Since my threads are not strong, I make a second line. I turn it inside out. The opening needs to be sewn up with hand stitches. done. And at this time we have a Christmas sock. I take it out of the hook. I cut off the excess. I secure the seam allowances with a zigzag stitch. Just like on the first block, I sew 8 strips of fabric in different colors. I sew a finishing stitch. I process this block with a lining just like the first one. These blocks need to be connected. I have some strong threads like this. I will use them to connect the blocks. I start with a fastening. I bring the needle out to the corner. And now I need to collect the blocks. I am not sewing a fabric, but the sewing lines. I finish this hand stitch with a strong fastening. It is important to make several stitches here. The beginning of the Christmas blanket is done. I think that I need to make about 20 more blocks. Each patchwork block is filled with warm colors and spirit of the holiday. Bright Christmas stars, cheerful Santa Clauses, and shining Christmas trees. These elements create a unique, heartfelt decoration that will be the center of the attention at any Christmas party or cozy gift for loved ones. Thank you for being with me. Subscribe to the channel and put a like. Love you. Bye bye.